This tutorial will demonstrate how to create your own web page or site within Google Docs. You might find this a good tool to use if you wanted to create your own teacher web page, for student portfolios, or for projects both individually and as group projects. So the first thing that you would do, I am logged into my Google Docs and I'm going to click on the Sites option. And then if you see here, I do already have two sites that are created. This is the technology site where you're getting all of your information from, and then this would be Dr. Pettit's China site that I'm working on, helping her with the blog while she's in China. But we're going to start with our own new website by clicking on Create, and we're going to select Blank Template, and I'm just going to call it Sample Site. If you notice down here, it is creating the remainder of our web address, and it's probably looking to see if anybody else has a name the same way. Then I'm going to click on Create. I'm actually getting a message because I tried this before, so I'm going to call this Sample Site 1 and Create. And what it's doing is just making sure that this is an okay address for us to be using, and that takes just a couple seconds. So now I know my site is called Sample Site, and I can begin working on this site by clicking on the Edit tool on the right here. Notice you get all kinds of options for your typing, and so now I would create this site. And I would do the same things that I could with anything else. I'm going to change my text color. I'm going to bold and center. And let's make this an 18 point. Good. So then I would be able to continue. I would be able to insert an image. Let's try choosing a file, and let me look for a picture. Click OK. So then my picture goes in there, and I'm going to center the picture as well. So now I've inserted an image the same way I would do in a Google Doc, and I have begun some information. Let's say that I knew that I wanted another page. I'm going to click on Save first. This is different. You do have to save this. I could add a new page, and maybe I want to call this my reading page. I'm going to put the page under Home and Create. So now what you see here is under my sample site, I have the home page, which would take me to the original page, and now I would have a reading page. So I think you can kind of see what's happening here. Under the More options, you would be able to select some of the more particular items that you would like in a web page. Your sharing and permissions and what you wanted to be able to do. So the last thing I wanted to show you as far as this is, if you wanted to create a blog within your page, you would take a look at the, I would suggest that you do it as an announcement. And I'm going to call that our blog entries. I'm going to create that page. So under that, notice then you have the option your users would have the option to put in posts as you went along if you wanted a classroom discussion. Let's take a look at the sites that I have already created. Again, as I said, this was Dr. Pettit's page, and what I did was inserted an image here, as I showed you in the previous demo. And then I was given the option to insert a Google map, so that's what I did, and as she sends me where she's at, I will be able to mark that. You can also insert a calendar and kinds of other options when you click on this insert button. Notice here you can do links, again, table of contents. I'm not going to read all of these to you, but you can insert your Google Calendar if that's what you're using, and it will update for you. I haven't had a chance to play around with a lot of these, but basically I want to show you what some of the options are on here. Let me click Save again because now I'm in the edit mode. What I did for my other site that I have, all I did on this one was created a basic page, and then I created the links within here for you to be able to use. So it was very simple, and I think just going in and playing around with it a lot will give you some of those ideas on what you would be able to do. And that's how you would get started, at least, in using Google Sites. Again, I think it's a great idea to have your students create portfolios. They could do this at the beginning of the year and begin uploading their documents, and they could share it with you so that you'd be able to see what they're doing, or even just for simple group projects. And that's how you get started with Google Sites.